Don't wait till the battle's over. Don't wait till the struggle ends. Shout now, shout now, right now. Shout now, shout now. Don't wait till you make it.
Hey, and welcome to the PHILLIP Show. I'm so glad that you're joining us. Grab your coffee before we get started. Listen, so I just had a conversation the other day with someone, and you may have had these conversations too. What are the youth of today even doing? Remember when you were younger, and if you're around my age, which will, that's not neither here nor there, but we used to play outside. We used to have all of these things that we did. Then technology came in, and now all of a sudden people are on their computers, people are on iPads, people are on phones, and they're doing all of these things. What is going on with the youth? How do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them active? And how does activity play in the mentality, in the confidence, in all of those things that you need as you continue to grow up? And who is leading the way? Today, we are talking to Guy Tron Banks, who is a fitness coach and a youth mentor. And he is the founder of the All-In Youth Fitness Club, which is a program that uses fun and fitness to empower young people and promote positive values and healthy habits, resulting in confidence, in resiliency, and in real life power.
I can start now. I'm on a mission. I became certified as a fitness coach while I was inside of prison during the pandemic. When everything had stopped moving, I decided that I was going to figure out how to keep moving. I want y'all to be imagining a space that you want to create in your mind, and what our goal is to take y'all's collective thoughts and create y'all's own space.
1, 2, 3, you got it!
What the goal is when we get the children in these spaces is just to use those things as vehicles, right? To teach about life skills, to teach about reaching your highest potential, strength-based approaches, and just being able to gain trust with them that we can open up that conversation and that they speak in a way that they may not have spoken to us if they didn't have that comfort level. So these are like academies that become social clubs, that become a foundation for social capital later on in life.
Go!
All-in youth fitness with the mentality of a safe space, a place where you come and you share and you build for one another. You come with all your successes, you come with all your failures, you're vulnerable, you're confident, you all of these things in this place, and you're allowed to be, because that's what their environment is there for.
All in youth fitness, all in youth fitness, all in youth fitness, all in youth fitness, all in youth fitness.
Powerful stuff going on.
On a mission. On a mission. You know it's going down, I'm on a mission. Every time I come around, I'm on a mission. On a mission. On a mission. On a mission. On a mission.
Please help me welcome to the show the founder of All-In Fitness Club for the Youth. Please welcome Guy Tron Banks. Tron.
What up? What up?
I'm on video.
You on video.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah. Good
was
to see you, man. Wow,
yeah,
wow.
good to see you too. I got blanket on over here. It's kind of chilly in the house right now. You know, I mean,
Oh,
it's warm outside, chilly in the house. How about that?
well, hey, the weather will do it to you. So, All In Youth Fitness Club. We saw the video. We kind of heard a little bit about it, and we'll jump into it. Why this project?
Well, why this project? This project is something that I had thought about in a different form. I'm also a hip hop artist, and fitness is like my secondary nature outside of music. And while I was inside, I always was thinking about what could have been done to prevent me from ending up in prison. Who could have been there? How could that happen, and what it would look like? What kind of environments I would be in that would promote something more positive in my life and have people around and things to do that would keep me active in something positive. So while I was in prison, I had that journey just thinking about that and what could I do? Like, how could I change it? And I started getting all these resources and knowledge. And I started to think about academies and clubs for the youth. And I started to visualize what that would look like. And I didn't know exactly how or who would be a part of it. I just knew who and who I would do it for and why I would do it, right? So when I first came home, which is close to a year ago, about 10 months ago, I was focused on starting the Academy for Music for the youth to have somewhere to come and be able to learn the music business and get some hands-on project and keep them out of the streets and keep them active. And I was speaking to a friend, and they said that why wait? Why wait? You have other things going on right now. You have resources, and you should go in now instead of waiting until everything's perfect and you got this and that lined up. And I said, well, what do I have now that's more tangible than me being able to create a space for music? And I realized that I go to work every day in a gym as a fitness coach, and I see youth there all the time, just kind of scattered. And I start talking to parents about what's going on around here, what's good for them to do. And I was getting these, I was getting a spectrum of answers. My kid is too young, or my kid is too old to do certain things. And I figured through that none of them are too young or too old for fitness, right? So I started to speak to people around the town, and the time was now, right? And I started to get all the pieces that I needed, brainstorming, writing down this, and putting all the puzzle together. And I just moved on it. So
Yeah,
we just got it off the ground.
I know that. I know that you had mentioned that you had been incarcerated, and I want to
Mhm.
get back to what you're doing now. But for those, because I know your story,
Right.
and you speak everywhere. You're a hip hop artist, and your life is also in your lyrics. But for somebody who's listening for the first time or watching for the first time, just give us a short kind of bio, if you will, of what happened. How long were you away?
2009, I committed a crime, a violent offense that landed me in prison for a sentence of 14 years. I did 11 and a half years out of that 14. I got out early on what's called a judicial release. And I moved directly to Yellow Springs. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. But I moved to Yellow Springs, and I got started doing everything that I had been preparing to do while I was inside of prison. Those light bulb moments was happening every day in prison, and looking at my history and my future, and I've been able to activate all of God's plan.
Yeah, activate. Come on now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So okay. So now we have the All In Fitness, and we saw from the video that it's super interactive. It's super
Mhm.
interactive. It's very engaging. There's motivational speaking. You had some different coaches there. How did you come to the programming of it all? How did you decide what you were going to present to the youth?
I decided based on like my overall goal, right? My overall goal is not to get them ripped up and in the best physical shape alone, right? We're talking about a holistic approach. We're talking about mental and physical, social, right? We're talking about the whole field of it, right? The whole field of life.
Yeah.
So when I thought about the order of things and how they would go and what it would look like, we would use fitness as the vehicle to start to drive it, right? So it's the fitness, and then we had a big meal and they ate, and it was the nutrition, and we talked about what the food was doing in their body. And you know, I'm a sports nutritionist. I have knowledge in all of these areas, but I know other people, right? They can speak from different perspectives. They can speak even maybe in more depth than I can, because I I have these certifications, but I only specialize in certain things. So I will bring in someone who could specialize in a holistic approach to nutrition with the fitness, right? So tie that in for me. So I needed someone to do that, and that came through my brother DeAndre Gasson. I needed the livelihood, the entertainment part of it, right? Because fitness can be like, I got to do that, or it could be fun. Food can be the same way. So we wanted to keep the energy going. We know that we love music, right? It's a part of it. We listen to music when we're working out. It pumps us up, amps us up. So it's even science that goes into that, right? So we just implemented the music in there as well. And I just wanted to have like a kind of a chain connection, the link, right, to fitness, to nutrition, why the music, right? So, and then we could speak to them about life after that, right? And we can incorporate life skills and life lessons through fitness, food, and fun.
You mentioned at the beginning that you just got to start. I know a lot of people always have these ideas, but they could plan themselves into the procrastination of never, and you just never get started. For your project and being out now, how did you get gain so much support for this project? Because clearly you didn't do it alone. So how was the process for you to say, hey, I do have something that I want to start? And then now to this point, we had all of these people supporting this project along the way. What did you do?
I don't think it's too much of what I did, right? That's what I was asking those same questions when I was getting put in certain rooms because we had to get funding, and I was allowed to come into these rooms and talk, behind closed door. I might ask one of the people like, hey, why y'all let me in there? Like, why y'all helping me? Why y'all assisting this? And two things that I realized through asking those questions and just having conversations with people around the community is that, one, people watch, they listen, right? And they observe and they say, what he's speaking about, what I'm speaking about, I'm not like coming from a monetary gain, motive, right? I'm telling a true story about where I came from and how I came about to think of these ideas and what I'm trying to prevent. And it's there, it's real, right? It's real. I don't have to make up a conversation about it. I just talk about what is. So that was one thing that was pointed out. Another was, okay, that, you are a fitness coach. You have clients and people work with you. That was another thing that was told to me. But I think the biggest thing was it wasn't forced. It wasn't a forced thing. It wasn't a thing that I was saying, oh, I see this already exists. I just want to do mine too, right? It was a need. It is a need, right?
How did you identify that? How do you know that?
By being in the environment I was in, by being in that center, right? And seeing the culture of the center, right? And I know with I have some knowledge about what the youth want, what they need, right? Even when it comes to certain equipment,
Okay.
that, like physical equipment, there's certain types of exercise equipment that attracts the youth, right? It might be a light pod instead of a cone, right? Like because it lights up, or the color of it, right? And they want to try it out. So it was just looking at the environment and saying, okay, it's a few kids in here, there's a few children in here, and when they come in here, what are they really allowed to do?
Sure.
Right? What are they really allowed to do? They can't yell.
Mm.
Right? They can't play music. They can't run around. Right? What can they do? So I saw that first and said, well, there are children. When I first moved to Yellow Springs, I didn't see any children. I didn't think any children existed.
Wow.
Then all of a sudden, I start seeing them. I start seeing a lot of them. Then I start seeing them come into the wellness center. And then I had met a few of their parents along the way. So I started asking the parents questions like, you got kids? Yeah, I got boys. I got girls. What would they do around here? Right? And again, that question was met with like, hey, not a whole lot. So I said, okay, that's try to fix that. So, it's like if we was to build an amusement park right in the middle of Yellow Springs, it don't exist. Right? And people gonna go and get on those rides because they want to. Like you said something in the beginning about how we get them off the phones, how we get them out the house. Got to give them something worth doing.
Yeah.
Right? Give them something
alternative.
Yeah, give them an alternative. Like, if they like playing video games, give them something just like the video game that they play. Give them something they can build. If they what's the one game, Minecraft and all the give them something that they could build in real life and create their own obstacle course and run around in it. Like, it's just giving them something else.
For the video that we saw at the beginning, was that your first event for the All In Youth Club?
First event. We had 30 participants. I was asking them in the meetings, like, how many children you want? And I was like, man, I would like to have 30. And because I felt like more than 30, I didn't know if I was going to be able to, it's the first ride, you know what I mean? I figured the way that I had the stations up, because I had different stations set up. I had about 4 or 5 stations. And I said, the way that I have the station set up in the space that we have, we can get, 10 kids at each 10 kids at each station, right? And we can manage that, right? We get 50, 60 come in, right? Like, now we got to start figuring out more and more and more. Or if we get 15, right? Yeah, we can figure that out. But we want a decent amount of children there so we can make this thing as beautiful as it can be. So when we got that 30, and it was sweet. But yeah, this was my first go at it, and that was in November, and it was a scary thing to do. It was a scary thing to do. Like,
what was the out of all that scariness and all of the success, what was the biggest thing that you learned throughout that process?
That they want it. Like, the children, they want it. You create it, they gonna come, they gonna have fun, and don't underestimate them. Don't underestimate their physical abilities. Like, don't. Always look for their safety and be aware of that, but don't like micromanage too much, right? You let them be free. I set up the course, right? We got the agility rope, we got the cone race, we got the expo trainer. What you even saw on there was one of the kids pushing one of the coaches on the trainer. Right? That's something that you let happen, right? They don't say, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that, right? We had the plyo boxes where they were doing box jumps. Some of the kids just wanted to flop on the box. Let them flop on the box, right? Because we said this is for you.
I like that. You set a place where it's safe enough for the kids and it's designed to engage them, but the parameters are so much that they can kind of have liberty to kind of use it how their mind kind of conceives what they want to do.
Bottom line, that's the whole point of it, right? Creating a space for you. Right, we talk to them about using their imagination of what they would want out of a space. We're going to set up. This is what we got. This is what we got right now. This is what we thought of for y'all while you're in here, and you imagine it. However far you want to take your imagination, go there. Right, go there, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
right? We'll see if we can do that for you. Right.
Yeah.
But now is the thing: creating their own space. What do y'all want? What do y'all want? What do you really want? How do you want to have fun? How do you want to interact? How do you want to engage? Right? How do you want to learn? Like,
and what is some of the feedback that you received, either from the kids, from the parents, or from some of the other presenters or coaches that you partnered with?
Well, the parents, the parents is really happy, right? It was like their day off, You dropped them off. They dropped the kids off so quick. They dropped them kids off. I was calling parents like it's time to come get your kid. They weren't answering the phone. I said, "What?" I
don't know.
Yeah, but
spam call.
Parents loved it, and even from the parents' mouth, they like my child is still talking about all in youth. We handed out water bottles. You see, I've seen children around Yellow Springs with their water bottles in their hands months later. Right, it was children there that didn't know each other, that met each other and got to hang out, and it was some children there that battled some of their fears right there. Right, I've really seen it, like, come out of their shell, think they couldn't do something and did it, right, and a whole nother look came on their face, like, that proud, that strong, like, I just did that. Yeah, you did, right? Yeah. It was a challenge for some, and they was able to jump over some hurdles, and then, but the feedback's been great from the parents and the children. They ready for another one, and we trying to make it happen as soon as possible. So
you are thinking of one this year.
This year for sure. It's gonna be slightly different this next time around. I got I'm putting like he was saying, what are they doing in the house? We gonna bring the virtual reality to them. You know what I'm saying? This time we gonna get some VR, some Oculus, put the fitness inside of the Oculus, set up some stations. We got some other coaches around the community. We gonna get some kickboxing involved in there to teach them some of that.
Wow.
Of course, they gonna eat, and the weather is breaking, so
yeah,
we going outside. We gonna go outside.
What's the age range for this club?
This club, the last event we had on paper, we had the youngest was 5, the oldest was 16 on paper. I think actually they're 5 and 13 was the oldest. This time around, I'm going to break it up in a 2-part day.
Gotcha.
Break it up in a 2-part day. It's going to be, 12 and through like 17 earlier in the day, and then we split it up with the younger kids. The young kids will go earlier in the day. The older kids will go later in the day. We split it up, change up the courses a little bit. Because I did recognize that with some of the older kids, they wanted to be with their peers. I don't really want to work out with the 5-year-old, man. It's understandable. I get it, right?
Yeah.
But they did though. They still did it, right? And we put those challenges up there. Hey, man, you older, man. You got to jump higher. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the challenge. How can you jump on the box, right?
Yeah.
How can you push this sled, right? So yeah.
So for the people who are listening that think it's incredible, because I keep saying listening like people aren't watching us. So for people watching the show who think this is incredible, because it is, the rally around the betterment of the lives of youth is just tremendous. For people listening and watching and just interested in participating, coming alongside, giving, whatever, how do people find out more information about the club and what might be to come?
Well, so it's still in development. And when you speak of not waiting, like nonprofits and 501c take time. So what we did was launch the Patreon page, right, where we can get community involved, because it's all in youth, right? The youth is who it's for, and all in is us, the community. Like, it's all hands on deck. So we are looking to get as much as community support as we can. That way we'll always be ready, right, for whatever. So the Patreon, you can set up subscriptions and you can donate through Patreon. And that way there will always be a pot. I do a lot of fundraising. And on the side of that, the Patreon can be some assistance as well. When, because we'll do events, but we also may say, hey, this month we're all going to the movies, or like the amusement parks are opening up, right, in the summer. That's another thing that we want to start doing, going on field trips, right? Because we just built in this community, building social capital among them. They have memories that they built, and I remember you from when we was kids. We did this, right? So later on in life, those connections are there, right? So the Patreon page is all in youth, and we are taking on patrons now for people that want to donate to the Patreon or donate through the Patreon.
Sure. I think Patreon's an awesome platform because you're able to support right there, and you're able to get either exclusive or general information that just gets uploaded. And I think that's an awesome way to stay connected and to give back while you're staying connected. So I like the fact that you chose that platform. That's great.
For sure.
So you got music going on. You're up here doing cones and stuff with the kids. What's next? What's next for you?
I am Octopus Man.
I'm sorry, say again.
I'm Octopus Man. My hands are in different places, right?
Yeah.
However, all the places that my hands are in, it is a consistent thread. They all line up with purpose, right?
Yeah.
They all line up with the big picture. So all in fitness, on the top of the priority list right now. Getting this next event jumping off the next either the next major school break after spring break, the next major school break that they get, or we're going straight in the summertime. And if we go in the summertime, like if it takes that much time to build it up, it's gonna be that deal, right?
Yeah.
Because that just gives me more time to put the pieces together and make sure we got some good stuff. I've been talking to some pretty good people about what's next. Anyway, so that's top priority for me right now. Of course, trying to thread the music business, focusing on that. I release a song every Thursday. Be shooting some music videos, working with some artists in town in Yellow Springs, working with some people out in New York, just building it up. It's a process. What else we got? I'm doing this college tour right now. I'm doing these speaking engagements. So I'm in different colleges talking about the connection between slavery, mass incarceration, and hip hop. And I use my story of, my trials and redemption, going into prison and coming out to piece that story together. So I just been going to the colleges, talking to the students. We've been getting a lot of good feedback from that, and building community that way too. So those are pretty much my main things I'm doing. This youth fitness.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Making it happen. Yeah.
Well, good for you. That's a lot. Yeah. But, you said that you do have a common thread, and I appreciate you coming on this show because I say it all the time, but people's stories have power. And when I look at a lot of your endeavors, and when I look at all of the things that you're doing. And when I listen either to the music or to the testimonies from your events or just being at one of the events, there is a common thread through it all. And it really speaks to hope and inspiration and determination. And I really enjoy that because everybody can take something away from it. You don't have to be a youth. You don't have to enjoy hip hop. You don't have to do any of that. But people's stories are so relatable, and they can conceptualize other people a lot better when they hear the journeys of somebody that, you know, otherwise they may never have discovered or any of that.
Facts. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's what we out here doing. You using your voice, you using your platform. I appreciate you too. You know, and
thanks, sir.
you know, we just connected. We building. It's like one organism. Making it happen.
Absolutely. Well, Tron, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing this next event because I know with the last one it was incredible. So if you have more time, watch out.
Woo! Facts. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Tron. Great seeing you, man.
Write it down. Peace.
So that was Guy Tron Banks with All In Youth Fitness Club. Be looking for more to come. Number one from him, but number two from this youth club. And you know what? Really, number three from the youth that come out of it. People just don't lead youth to just stop there. It's really to train, to lead, to empower, and then they go on and impact the community wherever they are. You'll have all the information that you need. Find the All In Youth Fitness Club on Patreon and make sure to pay it forward. Invest where you are. And if you're looking for something to invest in, I think you found a really great source right there. So as usual, remember that you are the best you in the world. And I will see you next time here on The PHILLIP Show.
Don't wait.